Safari Gabre, I'm the Executive Director of Orange County Labor Federation. Just a little background on the Federation. We're a collection of about 90 individual local unions in Orange County, which represents a little bit over 150,000 working men and women in the county. We're gathered here today with some community leaders, religious leaders, and workers who are on the verge of getting laid off, to plead with the county and to let everybody know that this does not need to happen. We know that the county has over $360 million in reserve. It is beyond us to think that these people and the services that they provide is not actually considered an emergency to tap into the county's emergency funds. We would like to get an explanation actually what is an emergency, more than actually valuing the people of Orange County, those vulnerable, the most vulnerable people in the county, those who are getting laid off, so they have to go apply for public services, but they are not going to be public service providers to actually even process their requests. So we will be hearing from church leaders, community leaders, and laid off workers. And I want to kick it off with Reverend David Jamier. David Jamier from United Methodist Church of Santa Ana. Reverend David.
Well, this is a very critical time in the history of our country, I am saddened that so many workers will be laid off during this critical time. Instead of everybody coming together and cutting across the board and helping each other, and that would be a better way to resolve some of the financial matter of our county today. I represent religious communities of Santa Ana, and we wanted to let those who are laid off, to let them know that we are with them. We will pray for them. We want to do everything we can to support them. If we need to go and talk to somebody who will listen to us, we want to do that. Because you all belong to some church, some religious institution somewhere in the county, and so we consider you as our sisters and brothers, and we want to support you, and I want to be here to let you know that we care about you. So those are just a few thoughts I have for you today.
Thank you, Reverend. Next, we have the leader of the workers and their union in here, AFSCME Local 2076. We have Herman Martinez, and he would like to say a couple of words.
Good afternoon. I'm Herman Martinez, an eligibility worker for the County of Orange Social Services Agency, and also president of AFSCME Local 2076, which represents the eligibility workers. We eligibility workers are the front lines of service that protect the most vulnerable residents in Orange County, those hit by tragedies such as fire, accident, or death of a parent or provider, and those who fall in hard times, like being laid off, failed business, or depleted retirement accounts. When all else fails, eligibility workers keep food on the table, keep a roof overhead, and let people know that there's someone there no matter what. At this time, we eligibility workers are already understaffed, stretched thin, and finding it hard to keep up the increasing need for our services due to the worsening economy. And now to compound the problem, the county is laying off eligibility workers, and those of us left behind are being forced to take furloughs. It's seriously limiting our ability to help our clients, which means that they will suffer as they will not receive the critical type of services they need. The real tragedy, though, is that these cuts are not necessary. I was laid off in bankruptcy in 1995. It was different then because there was no money then. Right now, today, there is over $300 million in the county reserve. This money should be used to keep eligible workers employed instead of choosing to put them on the street and instead of choosing to put our clients at risk. The eligibility workers of the Social Services Agency are about getting people the support they need to help them get back on their feet. Hard times can fall on anybody, especially at these critical days. The County of Warren Social Services Agency should stop the layoffs of eligibility workers as they are seriously needed at this time, and that they should think about the terrible impact these cuts are going to have on our clients. Thank you.
Thank you, Herman. I just want to make sure that everybody understands, especially the workers. It's not your fault what's going on in the country. It's not your fault what's going on in Orange County. It's not your fault what's going on everywhere else. It's the fault of those greedy people who gambled on people's money and run down our economy, and at the end of the day, they are asking you to pay the price for it instead of chopping at the top, instead of making the supervisors and their highly compensated staff make the sacrifice. They are going after the most vulnerable people in the county. And one of those people who's getting laid off is Naomi Lopez. And we want to put a real face into this issue, and I want to welcome Naomi to say a couple of words.
Good afternoon. My name is Naomi Lopez, and I'm a former eligibility technician from the County of Orange, and I just got my laid-off notice on the 5th. I would have completed my first year at the end of this month. I'm here to say that I'm concerned of what's going on, how it's going to affect my fellow co-workers from my class that just got laid off, and the ones that stay behind and still have their jobs that are going to get affected by furloughs and higher caseload rates and trying to process the work, and also including how to also try to meet with clients that are going to get irritated by the fact that there's going to be less workers processing their cases and a high demand of them coming in. Try to speak with them or try to talk to them on the phone and try to get a phone call back. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Naomi, and we understand how tough it is when someone loses their livelihood, someone loses their paycheck and their benefits because of, like I said, something you had nothing to do with.